Hello there and welcome
to the new channel.
Here to help you see
the new you.
My name is Carmine Ortega.
Dennis Calamba.
This is Nato Agbayani.
My name is Juan Lu.
I'm Chino.
I'm Trisha.
This is Apple Manansada.
This is Attorney Carlo Ibanez.
This is Attorney Sheila Santiago.
This is Angie.
This is Orgamin.
My name is Dante Salama.
This is Jesse Francis Rebustillo.
I'm Dania Cunha.
Mon Mendoza.
I am Mapet Erhino.
I'm Leo Bryan. Mike.
Nice one, dear.
Sir Al Ian Barcelona.
Marvin Salazar. This is Sunny Haldons.
Heidi Lumainos.
This is Ivan Jude.
Patrick Geronimo.
Alan Perez.
My name is Erwin Ursua.
Mine was Bob.
My name is Lloyd Luna and this is
Future.
The Talk.
Family Business.
The Puppet Stories.
Aftershift.
PNC Town Hall.
YOLO.
Marketplace.
The Home Buyer.
HR Hotline.
Danny Art Show.
Hotline.
Foreign Affairs.
COVID stories.
Awesome Day Show.
Thank you.
Money and more.
Cybernext.
Women at Work.
Win Within.
Port Project.
The Big Picture.
Sometimes life lets you down and you feel that you are done. You just want a morning run because the fun is all gone. Sometimes life makes you proud when you look far and wide, when you leave the pain behind and see the brighter side. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new you. Sometimes life makes you blind and you choose something bad. You just wanna cry and hide and save your face from the crowd. But sometimes life makes you see the beauty in you and me. When you look up above, there is God and there is love. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new. We're here to help you see the newness of life. We're here to help you feel your hope is so real. You got the power to see. We'll help you see the new you. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new you.
The new channel. The new channel. The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following show are those of the hosts, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good morning. It's a wonderful day. Welcome to the new channel. Here to help you see the new you. It's New Year. This is Jesse Francis Rebustillo, your host to this wonderful program, the HR Hotline. I mentioned earlier, it's a wonderful day. It's a wonderful day because we are still blessed despite everything that we are experiencing here in the Philippines. Early in the morning, when I open after prayers, when I open my cell phone, I got a message from my friend, Femery, that she was watching CNN. And I looked for the link, and it made me sad. The things that is going around the world. Of course, there are two sides of the story. But if you are of what we have been used to, we are in a democratic country, and I still considered free. The one that happened in China, it's a little bit sad. The one that happened in the States right now, it's a bit sad. And yes, similarly, I'm also following that story on that flight attendant and the one who got shot in Rizal. It's still a wonderful world. The sky is blue. My garden is blooming. But there are things that makes us sad. Why is it I started with things around us in the world? Because we dedicate already Thursdays of HR Hotline for consultations. And I invited you, those who are the live audience now, to help me share insights, learnings, and thoughts on things that are actually concerns of the world of HR. And we'll do this. It's supposed to be as mentioned, the show is actually HR Hotline, and it's a hotline. It's actually a venue for consultation. But we're using Streamline, and we cannot really fit you in the screen. So we'll do the chat box, and it is very, very, very effective. Very, very effective. So I would like to greet Grace Dizena. Yes, Lloyd told me that you were in a meeting 2 days ago. And then I told her that you are a very graceful, gracious lady. Then we have here Ophel Montaliana. She has been my friend for the longest time with the Philippine Society for Training and Development before, now Talent and Development. Ophel is a wonderful lady. She has what you call yung substance. What I like in her, how he mix match her shoes with her dresses. And then we have Cherise Munisampang. Yeah, I love her. She's one of the wonderful ladies of the Philippine Association for of Professional Speakers. Yes, very balanced lady, very charming, and humble. She was telling me before if she can what do you call this? Be a speaker, but I know that she is a very good speaker. Then of course my friend from Bacolod, Maria Louie Homero. Ay Louie, hindi pa tayo nagchichismis doon sa batang naglagay ng post, hindi ka kita natatawagan. Then who else are here? This earlier already here. We have Neil. Neil is a friend of mine. I will not. We will. You just listen, Neil, because it will be interesting show. First time that you are here, we collaborate. Neil and I collaborate. We do public webinars. And he was asking me just yesterday if there is still a chance to profit from webinar. Of course. I would like to mention this. I am the current president, but I wish to step back later on this year of the Philippine Association of Professional Speakers. My advocacy is especially for those in learning and development. Shy away from free. Help also those in the speaking and training profession. Give credit where credit is due. And then credit is that you have to pay. You have to pay. Of course, you can curate and you can have your learning and development programs, but if you're getting a consultant and if you're giving some learning sessions, good if it is in-house, but if it is for public, for us to bounce forward, let us shy away from being, you can make it free, just like what PMAP is doing, but you get sponsors and you pay the speakers. Tao rin po yun. Ako nga, yung aking nanggugupit ng yung, the one who sweeps my garden, kasi imagine, kalaki-laki ng garden, sweeps my garden. Ang yabang. And then that one of the mga mahahasa, hindi naman po pwede yan free. You have to pay. I did a lecture on my baker. Kasi sabi niya, mahina daw yung benta, ganon, sabi ko, no. Galit ako sa'yo. We are still in the pandemic and we still have to just maintain it until such time that everybody is already going back. You know, people say siguro mental health or people are getting a little bit, what do you call this, impatient, that they want to act on it now. And it cannot, wala pa tayong vaccine. Well, anyway, ang dami ko nang nasabi sa inyo. So we have Chris ng Opinaria. And I'm excited to learn also. I invited PMAP Leadcom to join us here. So that this can be, now, so that we can have the first interaction. This is not a concern. The first episode last Tuesday was with Mark Hernandez of SPI. And it was on New Year's resolution, both personal and for your organization or for the community. I just would like to know for the people here, what are your New Year's resolutions? We can start our conversation with that. Grace, can you have your New Year's resolution for yourself or for the community? Ako, my New Year's resolution is to continue what I'm doing. Hindi yung to change. I got it from Charisse. Hindi yung to change. The New Year's resolution, I followed Charisse. Actually, Charisse, if you're listening to me, I followed what you posted. Parang, there is nothing wrong naman with what I'm doing. So what I'm doing is just to upgrade it or reskill. So itong yung reskill myself because I'm still poor in technology, but siguro to level up, to raise my ante. Diba? In everything that I do, in my cooking, in my piano, in my webinars, I thank the Lord. There are actually 3 invitations for me that sure webinars, which is why I asked friends of mine, Lloyd and Femery, to give me a training proposal kasi nakailalim na yung mga training proposals ko noon. So that I can just, of course, reinvent the wheel. Copy and fill it up. So yun. So para bang improve it because we changed the platform from face-to-face into online. So the distance learning program, which that's the right term, I'm going to improve it. So ano ang mga nakalagay dito? So Charisse, be thankful and be grateful. Yes, Charisse, be thankful. So the New Year's resolution is be thankful and be grateful. Give Caesar what is due to Caesar. Yan ang sabi ni Grace. Ang lalim naman, Grace. Desena yung resolution. Doon yun sa sinabi ko doon sa what is happening in the world. Okay. Dream big. Yes. I love it. Grace, dream big. Reignite yourself. Mind, body, and spirit. Right. Mga yan ang mga New Year's resolution. You have to dream big. You have to go beyond what you are thinking now. Yeah. I'm doing it, Grace. Para bang it's raising your ante, raising your bar. This is what you do. Be innovative, be creative, and actually your competitor is yourself. It's continuous improvement. Do not actually beat yourself that you're going to stress yourself. It is actually, I like it, dream big, which is what I am doing now. Dream big. For the little bakery that I have, for the training that I do. And what is it? And then, can we go back to what Grace? Dream big, reignite yourself. Yes. You know what is happening? Just like my baker and just like my son Berlo, you have to reignite, which is why we went up. I love my sister. She made me a resident of a condo in Tagaytay. I go up there to re-energize. It's not a getaway. It's just to re-energize, to have a time to think. Reignite yourself is very important. I love that. I love this grace. Sana pala grace sinama kita doon sa... Anyway, this is it na. Your mind, diba? You have been on a lockdown. How will you reignite yourself? It's actually self-motivation. I do that in my webinars. It's actually a 2-hour talk on that. It's 1 day to 6 sessions. Pero I have a discussion on self-motivation and body. Yes, look at me. You know what I do? It's not an exercise, but I sweep the streets of our village. Today, I swept the street up to the furthest, and that is my exercise, and I love the sun and the spirit. Yes. After Christmas, I had lapses in my rosary. The day or two, kasi nga we went up to Tagaytay. And I felt so guilty because it's not the Hail Mary, it's not the Hail Holy Queen. It's when you pray it, you're thinking of somebody. Grace, Louis, this is sincere. There are times that when I pray the Hail Mary, what is in my mind is Francis and your daughter and your husband, Louis. And that is what you call spirituality. I love it, Grace, what you are. And then what else? Jennifer, anong sinabi ni Jennifer? Wala pa siyang May sinasabi kaninang pumasok. What is that? Charis, si Chris. To be effective and efficient teaching my class online. Yes, that is very specific. That can be a resolution. But Chris, I am also mentioned this in my webinar. Very relative and effective and efficient. For all of us, I would like to get your thoughts. When you say efficient, where? Efficient in your competency? Efficient in the process? Or is it efficient on yourself or efficiency on the other party that you were able to impart? And if it is online training. And when it is effectiveness, I had experiences on that. And we use Kirkpatrick. Diba? How effective? Is the reaction? Is it learning? Or is it the behavior? Or is it on the ROI? I love that, Chris, what you discussed with us. I can see that. I like it, raising your bar. Bebet, what are your New Year's resolution? Grace Munoz, we should look into fasting. Uy, hindi ko yung ginagawa. I'm sorry. Pero ang fasting is just like food. Pwedeng fasting on social media, pwedeng fasting on my gardening. Yes, Grace, I will do fasting on my gardening kasi talagang I'm so, I will call it, an addict in my gardening already. Word of the year is, what is this, Jennifer? Word of the year is balundo, ilagay ng term for transmutation. Ay, hindi ko yun alam, Jen. Can you post it? What do you call that? Transmutation. Tulungan ninyo, medyo may oras, bobo rin ako, ha? What is meant by transmutate? To stay healthy, of course, Louis. To stay healthy and active so I can contribute more to my company. Louis, congratulations na stock kita. Nagkaroon ka ng, what do you call this, opening of your company in Silay. Nakita ko yun, ha. Thank you so much for your prayers. Ay, Grace, kasama ka talaga, Grace, sa aking prayer. Oo, kasi I know you pray for me also. Siguro mga, mga third decade, yung wala na ako, kasi Hail Mary full of grace. O sino mapapasok ka? Grace Ralios, Grace Decena, Grace Sorongon, Grace Ata, o di napipray ko yung lahat na Grace. Ophelia, for myself to continue to be kind to myself. Oo naman, Ophel. Alam mo, we are friends and I will make this public. Kung ikaw nagtatrabaho, Ophel, sobra ka. Sobra ka talaga. You are not kind to yourself kasi I know how passionate you are with your work. I've known you for years and when you are working, sobra ka talaga. Sige, kaya a nice to hear from this. For myself, to continue to be kind to myself, be kind to yourself. Dako, kasi I know when you are on it, ay nako, you are really, may mga tawag, but I like it. I like it. I really, idol ko yan si Ophel when it comes to it. Kasi so passionate. To take care of my health so I can take care of my loved ones. Ay, no, wag mo nang sabihin yan, Ophel, kasi I know how you love your nephews and your siblings. Nai-stalk din kita. Pero yun, you raise your ante. For the community, for peace, health, and safety, and kindness. Naku, nakakaano naman si Ophel talaga. Yes. Bet I would like to know your New Year's resolution. We still have around 8 minutes for this. Bebet, ano pang sino pa naglagay? Yun ang alam mo, it's nice. It's actually a tradition of the Eastern and Western. And the New Year's resolution is actually just a renewal. And if you look at it, if you are a Catholic and a Christian, all the Gospels, the solemnity of Mary as the Mother of God, the Epiphany, which is manifestation and everything, it's actually for us to really think about. Let us be hopeful and joyful this new year. I like that also. Hopeful, yes. Bebet, if you listen into the early part of this session, I mentioned about what is happening in the world. And I prayed for the Philippines. And we have to be hopeful and joyful. Ay, nako, Bebet, ang hirap po ng joyful. I would like to share this. Joyful kasi, happiness sometimes it is outward coming in. There are things that, pero when it's already happiness turning into joy, it comes from you. It comes from you. It is actually nested on the individual. Ang joy, sa iyo yun. Yung parang kahit na kung ano man mangyari sa iyo, naano ko yan sa resilience. Kahit ano mangyari sa iyo, kahit na natabunan ka ng earthquake, kahit na but the joy in your heart, but joy, ang mahirap yung bebeta, kasi joy is with your family. You are comfortable with your family, you have your relationship with God, and you have confidence. That is actually joy. May sinasabi si Obet, Ophel, I agree to helping to clean community by volunteering to clean the streets. When I am talking to Ophel, I have to speak well my intonation and this is a joke, and my pronunciation, because Ophel is one of my friends who can really speak the language well. I agreed to helping clean our community by volunteering, magli yung aking pronunciation, to clean the streets. I know how that feels, as I used to bring my nephew to the nearest park where I live and pick up trash during Sundays. Naku, si Ophel talaga, kukurutin ko, very good. Teaching young people to take care of their environment. Ophel, di ba ang bahay ko in front of the basketball court and the park? That is what I do. That is what I mentioned, yung I sweep. Ako ang sweeper. Wala akong pakialam kung tingnan nila ako na para akong katulong. I love that, Ophel. We are really friends. We are really aligned. Who else here? Transmutation, yung yung kay transmutation, that one of Jennifer. Transmutation, the changing of an element in form. Lalim naman ni Jen. Appearance or condition to another, usually to a higher value. Base metal to silver. Jen, can I borrow your word? I will try to use it. I'm coming up with a summit, and I would like to use this one. Transmutation, the changing of an element to form. And that is actually what you need. There are a lot of frameworks of transformation, of pivoting. I would like to add this, that the transmutation, kasi para ka ba nag-transform kung hindi ka naman nag-change ng element mo? Di ba yung para ba nag-transform ka lang kasi nag-makeup ka lang? Hindi naman talaga nag-change yung beauty mo sa loob. Unlike kay Ophel, unlike kay Grace Decena, na talagang ang beauty nila ay sa loob, kaya nagraradiate. I love this. You transmute. Kasi with all these changes, di ba, you introspect, you extrospect, di ba? You try to see the VUCA world. Yung sarili mo is you really have to transmute. I will, Jen, allow me to use it. Yes, transmutation kasi sa loob yun eh. Transmutation. Para bang yung mga yung mga, saan ba yun? Yung nakikita kong mga movie. Okay. Okay, si Ismael. Ismael, we're talking here of your New Year's resolutions so that we can discuss it. And it is already a very engaging conversation. Of course, President Jesse. Okay, so we still have 4 minutes. I will still would like to listen, read what are your resolutions for yourself or for your organization or for the community. But you know, I have here some, actually, ano na ito, 8 na. But let us start with a concern. I would like to get your insights, your thoughts on this. Okay. This is easy. This is easy. This is more of, and before we have the break now. The problem is the employee gets sick. The employee gets sick, and it is actually parang COVID symptom. Colds with, what do you call this? Fever. Is the company is asking the employee for a checkup. Should the company pay for it? Because the employee is insisting that the company pays for it, or else he will go to labor and complain. So that is the problem. Before we have the break, can I ask your thoughts on this? So one of your employees gets sick, and it is not yet actually siguro COVID lang. You're just asking him to siguro for a checkup for ano. So the employee is asking that it has to be paid. Oo. So, ano ang dapat gawin? O, Bet, ano kaya ang dapat gawin? Louie, June, Sally, ano yung mga nakalagay doon sa DOLE advisories? This is not a big company. This is a startup company. And one of the employees gets sick, and it is a fever and colds, and you're asking them to have a checkup. And then the employee is insisting that the checkup and everything should be paid by the employer. What should the HR person do? Okay? While waiting for your thoughts, okay, see, Louis, does the company have medical insurance? Right. That's right also. That is actually a method. HMO or medical insurance. Kasi the medical insurance can actually, di ba? Pwede ba yun sa PhilHealth? Pardon my ignorant question. Looks like the startup company has no medical insurance. Yes, I think so. Wala. Natanong ko na rin yan, Grace. Wala, Grace. So, wala siyang medical insurance. So, anong gagawin? Ano ang gagawin ng and I think yung nag-HR is actually the owner also. The owner also. So if the employee is already asking na if I have to be magpa-check up ako, you have to pay for the expenses, or else I will report you to the DOLE. Ganun ang mga tao ngayon, ha. Ganun ang mga tao ngayon. So one is sana may health insurance yung company. Ang tingin ko nito, di ba, sino ba dapat ang magbabayad kung magpapaswab o magpapa-rapid test? Health benefits should properly be set at the onset. The situation can be avoided. Employees should not have to beg for health coverage. Tama, Ma'am Ophel or Callis. Dapat from the start, meron nang nakalaan doon. Diba? Okay. Then we have health coverage and the onset, a big attraction and retention. From there will be a discount from PhilHealth only if there is confinement. The employee and employer can share the expenses. Diba? Right. Yeah. The one, sigurado makikinig nito yung nagka-problema. So, kung na-confine, pwede mag-PhilHealth. Pero alam ko yung UTI, colds, parang hindi yan included sa PhilHealth. So if you ask me, if it is really the safety of the organization, including you, igawin na kagad na benefit. I would like you to ask your thoughts. Di ba, bayaran na siguro ng company yung pagparapid or yung pagpaswab if it is really a symptom for COVID. Pero if it is, ang ano nga doon is check-up. Why a check-up? There must be Maricor, welcome Maricor. There must be a core responsibility for both company employee. An HR policy on health and well-being would be a big help. Yeah. Pero at this time, Maricor, ano dapat ang gawin na yun na nga, nagkasakit, and then siguro everybody wouldn't want, and then may follow-up yan eh, na nobody naman daw got sick in the no, and then but the employee, the girl is insisting that she got her sickness from the office. So may contact tracing problem pa yan. You know, kaya ako ito binigyan na problem kasi this is actually real world. This is happening now. Not for the I don't know for the big companies as like Ayala and BPI and the BPOs, but for small companies, it is happening now. Somebody got sick, and who is the one who is going to pay for the checkup or for the confinement? Confinement, sinabi na ni Grace, PhilHealth. Pero yung checkup, if you ask me siguro, doon sa pag-check up, bayaran na muna nila. Kaya alam mo, I am a more people-centered HR. Kasi, depende kung if the person is really, di ba, a contributing member of the organization and they got sick. I think I'm more inclined that health is a responsibility of the company also. Hindi naman pwede nagkasakit yan na pabayaan mo na lang. Pabayaan mo na lang. And then dapat shy away from making it as a labor problem. The company and employee may share in the checkup. Yes, I think that is a better Maricor. What the best thing is you can do is that you can have a checkup and then we can share on the cost. The gesture of malasakit has a long-term positive impact on people. I bet this is a problem sa'yo kasi di ba you are 8,000 in all and you are actually frontliners also? Paano ko ang isa magkasakit? But you know, for big companies, ang alam ko, they spend and they have a budget for swab and the checkup. It's the HR job to mediate. If company can afford, they can refund the cost. Yes. Very good. Okay. Pagbalik natin, I have an next problem. Same company. Another problem is, there is a mother who texted the supervisor and she would like to know what are the things that they are doing in the company. So, dinedma muna nung owner. And then later on, nag-text na rin sa JM. So, ang tanong ngayon, should the parents or other members of the company has the right to know what are the affairs being done in the organization? Yan ang pagbalik po natin. These are real problems. So, Direk, can we have the break first? Before, kasi may sagot si June Sally. There must be a policy from the company about the situation. It's been 1 year already, so it's better to be clear. In some SMEs endorse the test to the LGU, especially the LGU have program to this effect. Right. Spot on. Actually, you know, I'm a very transparent person. Si Neil ang nagte-text nito. Neil, you are here. You can have a conversation with June. June is a consultant from Jensen. Ganun po tayo kalawak. June, thank you for being here. And she is a very effective HR consultant. Yeah. And si Louie, Louie is actually in Bacolod. So we are getting insights from seasoned HR. Thank you. Let's just have a break kasi mapapagalitan po ako. And when we come back, we discuss that one. Ang dami po natin pag-uusapan doon na gaya na yun yung ang asawa siya ang kumukuha ng payroll. Kasama dun eh. So this one is the mother is texting the bosses kasi she would like to know what are the things being done in the company. So I would like to hear your thoughts on that. So, Direct, can we have the break first? Actually, right now, what you can do is to share what we're discussing here so that we can ask also insights from our friends. And I reckon we just have a quick show of our shows so that I can invite them to watch it. So, ladies and gentlemen, viewers, we have wonderful shows with the new channel from the big picture down to mental shift. What you can do is just look for it and log on and visit the page, and you can use your gadgets. So let's go back to my friends who are actually very, very much okay. From Bebet, there should be guidelines from HR about the health protocols and check-up. Yes, Bebet. Yeah. And the DOH ATF DOL guidelines. Siguro hindi pa nabasa nung person yung mga guidelines on this. But I like what Grace mentioned earlier. And then Obet, the gesture of malasakit, that's long term. But yung sinabi ni Grace na what is that? Human resources should be humane, especially if the owner is an HR. Pareho tayo. Alam mo, with inquiry before, pwede ka muna magpaluwal eh. Kasi actually, safety is a concern now. Safety is a concern now. Huh? So, what we just discussed for those who just joined us, it's the concern is somebody gets sick and you will like, ikaw yung nagsabi, you would like to have him for a checkup. And then the person, the employee, is asking you to shoulder the expenses. So, this is what. So, the learning here is that you must have an HMO, is that it should be in place. A fellow college is telling us that from the start, it's a great what do you call this for your acquisition, for your recruitment, diba? Parang you're a sought after company, you're a company of choice if you have that in place. Okay. And then everybody is inclined na dapat mag-share doon. Now, the second question is this one. This will be wonderful. Let's have this. We still have around 30 minutes to go. So, HR was informed that a mother has been texting supervisor and asking what are the affairs or what are the things being done or what is actually the job of yung daughter niya doon sa organization. And then, nag-compound kasi, kaya nag-text na sa akin, kasi, nag-elevate, not only the supervisor, hanggang sa GM na. Para bang the mom is telling the GM that it is a right to know what are the things that are going on, mga affairs o mga activities in the company. What are your thoughts on this? Di ba ang cute ng problema? Yun yung sinasabing na it's unlike what is being done in Trump or in China. It is in their own world. Sabi natin mababaw, pero hindi yun mababaw, di ba? Say, one of your supervisor approaches you or your GM already informed you that there is a mother of an employee na natatanong, mayroong si Jennifer. Can you what do you call this? Yes. The kind of amount of information to be shared to the third parties, like an employee relative, is dependent on the company policy on handling confidential information. In multinational companies, there is a designated person or department tasked to handle communication. Right, Jen? Dito, di ba tawag dito yung corporate communication? You are right. Tama si Jen. And then siguro, what I know is that the HR must give an orientation or training to the supervisors how they are going to handle this. And then Jen is right. What are the things that you are supposed to divulge, to inform, or to broadcast? And what are the things that you are supposed to be, say, confidential? Tama yun. Kasi do they have the right to know? I would like to know. Grace, Maricor, Obet, I would like to know your inputs on this. Si June kaya. Louie, are you still around? Do third parties have the right to know what is happening in the company? Pero nasagot na dyan eh. Dapat may hangganan kung saan, the kind of amount of information. Para bang ako, when I was in HR sa Inquirer, may karapatan ba yung mom ko to know? Siguro ganito. Siguro umuwi ako ng, at the time, when I was in Inquirer, talaga umuwi ako ng 11. Kasi I am a night person. Siguro, nagtanong na yung mami ko kay Serene, ano bang ginagawa niyo dyan? Bakit ang anak ko ay umuwi ng 11? Parang ganun yung tanong. I would like to know your insights on this. Ang dami pa natin dito. What are your insights? Ophel, what is your insight on this? Galing ka sa BPO. I would like to know. Ang ano ko nito, ako ang experience ko nito, yung mga wife, I used to be the HR director of a construction firm. You know, there are times na pag sweldo, at the time hindi pa ATM eh, yung payslip pa, ang nakapila, yung wife. At ang sinasabi noon, kaya daw yung wife ang nakapila, kasi baka makadiretso sa number 2. Which I don't know if it's a joke, but it's true. So, you know, I made it a point. Nasabi ko na ang dapat kumuha yung empleyado talaga at that time. So, can we have Ophel? I agree with Jennifer. The company needs to establish guidelines on the company info and designate a person to manage such communication. Oo naman. And usually, if there is none communication person, the HR is the one to handle it. I remember si Ellen Folido. Si Ellen Folido, there was a time nung nasunog yung Star City, and she was the one there as an HR person. She was the one who was handling media. Ikaw ang mag-handle niyan eh. Risk money, that falls actually under risk management. And this is risk management. Ang mahirap nito, manganganak ito eh. Kasi with the social media, if the third party will know what is being done there, they can just rant in the social media. Si Ismael, si June Sally, my dear friend June, can we have your thoughts? No, there must be confidentiality in all information. In some cases, if there is a need for the mother of the wife to know about the information, they have to write a letter to the HR and the GM. Spot on them. Spot on in. Kasi malay mo, chismis lang yun. Diba? Malay mo, ako tingin ko it's behavioral. Malay mo, the mother is just a little bit peeved na the son or the daughter is actually acting differently, not going home properly siguro. She would like to know what is happening in the, unless mayroong innuendos on some sexual siguro. Kasi bakit naman nag-aano yung mom? Nagtatanong. But you know, this is an HR issue kasi ang tanong ko ngayon, maghimasok ba yung HR? Sino ba dapat ang unang ito connect? The person, the employee, or the mother? In my past practice, I would rather deal directly with the employee. Yung tanong ko, sinagot mo, Grace. Love talaga kita. And go into the root cause where the mother is getting involved. We need to draw the line. Otherwise, we'll have a bigger problems to deal with. I love you, Grace. Right. For all those who are listening, dun sa mentorship program ng Leadcom, you are getting it from Grace. Deal first with the employee. But you know, Grace, you need to have good rapport. You need to really have good rapport. Maricor, there has to be a clear line of communication. Officially, the company deals with the employee, and the employee is the one responsible to communicate with his mom or relatives. Yes. Pareho kayo ni June Sally. Maricor, kilala mo si June? He was a former president of the Janssen chapter. Dialogue with the employee. Right, Louis. Say, dun muna sa Pero you have to be careful also how you're going to open it. Di ba, Louis? Kasi, hindi pa naman yun infraction. This will now depend on how the HR will handle it. Para bang, go to the principal's office and you ask, para bang, ano ba ito nangyayari? Bakit ang nanay mo nagte-text dito sa boss mo? Parang ganun. Baka it will also lead into some other problems. Dialogue with the employee, sabi rin ni Louis. But it has to be handled. Nako, Grace, Maricor, dapat siguro magkaroon tayo sa PMAP ng niyan, webinar or summit on that. Kasi these are real problems, ha? And it's happening now. Alam mo, makikita ko nito, ganito. Ano kaya kung ang sitwasyon ganito? Yung mom nandyan, nagluluto. Tapos nakikita niya nag-online. So, nagtatanong na siguro, malay mo yung employee nagsasabi, ay, Diyos ko, ang sakit-sakit ng ulo ko, hindi ko maintindihan si sir. At naririnig ng mami. And that can be a one situation. Your husband, your children can now see you because you're working at work. Right now, I am with my dogs, and my dogs are already complaining. Okay, Maricor, hello, June daw. Yeah, diba? So, I got it from Jen. Nuya, I get it. There should be a communication person. Then I get it. There should be what you call it from June, confidentially what you have to mention, diba? But of course, just like say sa inquiry noon, there is already brochure or there is already para bang it is everybody must be able to know about it, that this is a public, this is an information company, and then we have this structure and we have this Kaya, it has to be handled properly kasi pwedeng manganak ng manganak. Kasi because of the social media. Now, ngayon, ATM na. I had that problem before. Yung the one who falls in line are actually the wife of the worker. Jennifer, totally agree. Can we have what Jennifer posted? Totally agree with you, President Jesse. Might the employee's mother be asking the immediate manager where the affairs of the company because the employee is avoiding some questions? She's asking her son or daughter reworking hours or conditions. Nag-happen po yan. Nag-happen po yan. Alam mo, chismis ito. There are a lot of relationships. Hindi na ito mother-daughter, husband and wives. I have that. in my previous companies, hindi lang 1, 2, 3, 4, separation kagad. Kasi the wife or the husband is not informed what is happening in the company at pumapasok yung emotional, nagseselos with the boss, with the company, or with work. Ang grabe is nagselos with work. I have that. Even in the family. I have that. The relation really gets so awry and upsetting kasi somebody is left uninformed. Para mang na ano you're out of ano tawag nun, you're isolated. Can you help me with my vocabulary? Yung para bang diba, Charis, nagsabi ka, be emphatic. Nagkukuha mo ko, Charis, yung sometimes, kasi ang dami in my previous app, I can mention even names. Text mo ako, mag-mention names. Yung isa naghiwalay, yung isa nawala talaga. Yung parang the other person would like to know, ito nga face-to-face, would like to know what is happening. Ano ang extent ng responsibility ng HR, ng company with that? Kasi nangyayari, it's really a real thing. Ang mga ano dyan, ang alam ko, may mga manifestations May mga manifestations na they ask, they call. I think HR must be sensitive. If there is a call from a third party asking of something, they have to start siguro a mentoring, a coaching. Grace, I would like to get your input on it, June. Ngayon ko lang naisip yun. Kasi that happened also to me. Na at the time, may mea culpa, para bang ang ginagawa natin yung set it aside. That is their personal. Ang tuloy noon yung isa, talagang nag-resign. Pina-resign ng asawa. So sayang. So, pero ang tanong dun, how up to what extent are we going to be involved in that kind of situation wherein a third party would like to know what is happening and what is the information that you're going to do. Of course, yung nasagot natin is you have to deal with kasi yun ang relation mo with your employee. Pero, manganganak na. Si Obet ang haba ng sinagot. Sabi kaya muna, si Jairo, sabi ni Jairo, agree. Jairo, saan ka po nag-agree? Sa akin siguro nag-agree. Sabi ni Charis, HR can do counseling with the employees for emotional growth. Agree. Kaya sinasabi ko lahat, emotional intelligence kailangan Hindi lang yung wave. Talagang emotional intelligence kasi needed na ngayon. Alam mo, you have to think face-to-face and this one of the distance wherein they work at home and then they can be seen. Obet, can we read what Obet posted? Acknowledge the inquiry of the mother, but not the point of giving details, and stress that her son or employee will update her on the questions she raised. The method of reply to the mother's inquiry will depend on how she communicated it. Obet, nag-text siya sa mga boss at ngayon inelevate niya na sa GM. Ang hindi ko nga malaman, ba't nalaman niya yung mga number. It is through the email, formal letter, text, or phone call. It's the prerogative of the employer on what appropriate action to take in line with the company policies, guidelines, and communication protocol. All managers and supervisors must be trained. I agree. Nasabi ko yan, Obet. Dapat, I think, everybody who is listening to, viewing us, this should be a training program. Kasi, nag-ano ngayon nakikialam. I think the movement, I will call it movement, the initiative, because pakialamero ang tao ngayon because of the social media. So everybody would like to be informed. Gaya ba kay Obet? Obet, si Joy Bane, yung asawa, alam ang mga ginagawa ko mo? Of course, I know, alam. Sabi naman ni Charis, it is also part of HR to know somehow on what they feel because they may not be performing well in the office so as to know where they are coming from. Charis is actually zeroing in on the employee. Sa AmeriCorps naman, prudence. I like that word prudence. Ginagamit ko yan. Prudence and mindfulness on the part of HR company in handling these kinds of personal communication? Yes. But it has to be. You know, it's high time. I don't know kung nandito si Ritzy of PCAAE kasi she's a communication person. Dapat there should be a training for this. Ang sabi naman ni companies have put together an employee assistance program where it includes family counseling as well. Grace, I love you. I did that when I was with Inquirer. We have the Employee Services and Development Center. And in that, kasama dun sa mentoring program, we ask people to be around for some counseling. Communication is key in any issues to be reviewed and resolved. Sabi ni Obet kanina, there should be training for the supervisors. Dito sa nakuha ko kay Grace, dapat mag-retrain, mag-reskill ang mga HR on counseling. On counseling. Alam mo, with PMAP, with PSD, we have been on it. Pero, di ba, dapat, right now that we are in this pandemic, and then the issue of mental health, and people are all a bit scared, dapat, di ba? Oh, tingnan mo, napasok kong chismis. Yung what happened to the crime, di ba? The mother is last to know. Dapat malaman. Eh, siguro dapat malalaman, di ba sa school, naglalagay ka na pag-outing, magpaparap. Ay, naglagay si Obet, of course. Ay, Obet, joking, of course. Joy knows what you're doing. Of course, alam mo ako, Obet, friend, BFF ko yan si Obet. My mom, my family here, they know what I am doing. Dapat may transparency. And I think that culture should be para bang instilled by HR that the employees in the company should be transparent of what they do. But of course, sabi nga ni Jen, may confidentiality. Kasi of course, you cannot divulge the menu or the ingredients if it is a pizza parlor or all the company. Hindi pwede. So, okay. Practice. Ano yung HEAT? Ay, naku, Charis, pinapag-isip mo kami. Ano ba yung HEAT? May time pa ba tayo? O may time pa, Charis? Can you post it? Si Charis talaga. Practice daw HEAT. Sabi naman ni Grace, I have experienced this firsthand in my employee assistance program. Oo, Grace. Di ba tayo? Ako nag-experience din ako ng ganun. One of which is actually, sad to say, Grace, chismis ito, talagang nag-iwalay sila. Ay, alam mo ngayon na I'm getting older, I should have intervened. Ngayon na, tumataas ang balahibo ko. I should have intervened kasi later on, nagiging chismis, nag-iwalay sila. So, babae ito So, siguro yung husband, Grace, alam na. Sa totoo lang, wala namang guy. The husband is just like very, very, ang tawag na insecure, na siguro, the employee, our employee has no time anymore sa bahay. Kaya dapat may counseling. Charis, what is that? Hear, listen, empathize, acknowledge, and take action. Naku, Charis, ano kaya maggawa ka ng webinar at turuan mo kami niyan? Charis, mag-ano ka na nga rito. Yan lang ang pag-usapan natin. Charis, pwede next week? Ikaw mag-ano ng hear, empathize, and kami lahat makikinig sa iyo, Charis. Di ba, promise, Grace? Kikinig tayo kay Charis. Sabi ni Obet, include communication protocol in the basic employees orientation. And do retraining to everyone once a year, especially during this uncertain period, so everyone are well informed on communication protocol, especially on health matter. Yeah, tinuog ni Obet yung dalawa. Kanina yung health matter, and also this one, yung trying to know. And then the situation is, one who is working like me in the house, and then people are already watching and listening. And ano kaya pinagagawa nito ni Jessie? And then one is also, siguro yung face-to-face, at may pandemya na, umuwi pa rin ng alas 11. So, how will you really handle that particular communication? Kasi, the result niyan, pagdating ng oras, somebody will really leave. So, we have to take care of that. The cell phone number should have not been given to the mom in compliance with the data. Yes, Obet. Oo nga. Di ba nagtanong ako kung bakit makaalam sila sa Data Privacy Act, Kasi I think that this problem is, nag-complain na siguro yung mga supervisor and boss dun sa HR. What are they going to do with the mom who is pestering them. Diba? You're right of it. Si Ophel merong sinasabi rito. I love this. There is a conversation with my friends. Uy, sa Thursday ulit tayo. With working from home, it opens a need for a layer of assistance that covers family since they are directly impacted by their family members and hear all comments or emotion. Something for HR to consider. I love you, Ophel. Ito yung nasasabi ko na nga eh. There should be, Ophel, mag-come up ka nga ng ano nito, training. I-manage kita nito. It's needed ito eh. Because you're working from home, people can now watch you. They can listen to you. Just like now, di ba? I am blabbing here. Ano kaya iniisip ni Chevy, yung ano ko o yung neighbor ko? Diba, tama si Ophel. It opens a need for a layer of assistance that covers family. Diba? Ako naman talaga sinasabi ko lang. Sabi ko, magtatrabaho ako mamaya, huwag mag-iingay. Diba? But are people ready for this? Are people ready for this? Just imagine if it is a one-room affair. Then you, while you are on the laptop, you don't ask your significant other to talk. Diba? Ganon. Yes, very true, sabi ni Jennifer Nuya. So, employee must also know the meaning of life-work balance. Alam mo, Charis, change ko na ngayon, work-life integration. I-integrate mo na yung life mo. Integrate mo na yung life mo. Pero hindi naman na, while you're doing your synchronous or asynchronous, nag-ano ka. What do you call do this? Gagawin ko para makita ninyo. Nag-ano ka. What do you call Di naman. Pero sometimes I do that. Integrated yung life ko. May oras, nag-webinar ako. Di ba? Or, mayroon kang massage. Mayroon kang foot massage. O may foot massage ako. You have to integrate your life. Pero ang mahirap nga, because you are at home, but you need to focus on your work, life is integrated. And then, the problem, going back to the problem, the people, your significant others, are the one already, not complaining, but are well curious. Di ba? Curious. Kaya nga nagtatawag eh. So, yes, Charis, I love that. Then may post si Obet. Use the emergency contact number declared by each employee in case some employees will be required to extend beyond the normal working period and are required to work more than the usual period. Employee must be notified by the HR department how much info update to his or immediate family member as stated in person to be notified. Obet, I will ask you to, next to this, can I ask you to share more on this? Yung may emergency contact number, kasi that is needed now in this kind of alternative working arrangements. Dapat meron talagang, in case, kasi I think the mother, that's another situation. I'm just assuming. Yung para bang, alas 7 na, hindi pa umuwi yung anak mo. Diba? And then there is a pandemic. So dapat tama nga si Obet, there is what they call an emergency assistance. Somebody should call the family, not even or it can be the employee, na it is part of the process. Parang, if you're going to render overtime at 6 o'clock, you need to call home, hindi ako makakauwi on time. Diba? Right. So we got a lot of insights. Hoy, nako. Thank you, my dear friends. I invite you to be consultants. We are already over time. And I'm very sure we enjoyed it. We are many in the chat group. Yung iba hindi nagjo-join. Again, I invite you to listen to us on Saturday. Joanne Rosary is my guest. Then on Tuesday. Then Thursday, please come back as consultants. And it is nice. Ophel, Grace, Charisse, Chris, Obet, June, my friend from Jensen, and Louis from Bacolod. Join us again and let's have a nice conversation, a lunchtime conversation. And then you become consultants of HR Hotline. Thank you so much, CNC. Thank you. Yes, thank you very much. So there goes, ladies and gentlemen. This is actually the intention of HR Hotline for the season to have a conversation. Actually, this is not original. I will tell you, this is actually an idea of Edie Rene in PMAP. And they call it Project Share. Maricor, Grace, di ba? Si alam ito ni June. What is Project Share? They ask season HR to just to be in the panel. No format at all. And then all those who are participants, paying. They give in their concerns. And then what comes after? Magaling lang dapat ang moderator. I did that before. Siguro thrice. One in Rizal, one in Santiago, Isabela, and one in the south, in Cebu. Nag-moderate ako. Ano lang, dapat, and you sometimes, you get nuggets of insights from the practitioner. Yung hindi nagsasalita dyan na, ang iba nga dyan, just 3 years ang tenure, pero napakalalim ang insights regarding some concerns. And this is actually great sharing. And of course, makikita mo yung mga season, diba, kay Grace, kay Ophel, kay Obet, and these are wonderful kasi these are what you call, hindi yan mababayaran eh. Thank you for sharing. And this will be shared to everybody, and such notification will give peace of mind to the immediate family member. One example is some employees will be required to extend work, but the company must provide shuttle services to affected employees after work. It's given that employer must provide dinner because of work extension. Right. Ang galing ni Obet. Obet, you're one of the best. Dapat Obet, sasabihin ko na sa'yo para kung mauna. What do you call this? HR person of the year. HR, man of the year, manager of the year. Kasi, thank you, President Jen. Yeah, Jen always be here. So, let's give my parting message, right? The world is full of trickery, and the world is full of problems nowadays. When I woke up, there is something happening in the USA, and there is something happening in China, and of course, also in the Philippines. But we are talking here of our own world. And there are a lot of things also that is happening. And these are concerns. Something that is happening, hindi naman calibrated ang problema. A problem here may be different from what you're experiencing. But you get the insights because the approach in solving that problems are similar. And you really have to go into your HR heart. And what is the HR? Inclined to people-centric, inclined to be emphatic. That you have the heart of the Lord. I'm now recalling that song, that prayer, wherein when you have problems, think of the heart of Mary and the heart of Jesus. You will never be mistaken. You will always be guided. Problems of third parties, problems of employees insisting that their checkup be paid. Sick. It is nested in your heart. Have the heart of Mary. I'm very sure she had that problems with Jesus and his group. I just don't know what was the decision of Mama Mary. And have the heart of Jesus. And it will be lengthy. You will start with compassion, with empathy. And that is actually our designated role, to take charge of people, to take care of people. Thank you very much, my friends. Let's meet again on Thursday. This is Jesse Francis Rebustillo. Diyos mabalos po.